Hey guys, Glenn here, doing some more work on my Worx Landroid today. Here's my Worx Aero cart. This is my cart that I use for hauling around all my tools. You know, there's my spool of wire, some extra wire that I've done some work around the yard and pulled up and cut. And there's all my tools right there. I got my trusty plastic mallet, which works great. The best tool of all right here is the ratcheting crimpers for crimping when you make a connection. And I just use, I'll show you what I use in a minute. I got my great pair of wire strippers that my father gave me, oh God, years ago, probably in the late 70s for Christmas, probably like 78, 79. I still have those. Those are great. They're also, you know, you just squeeze the handle and it strips the wire for you. You got different sizes. If you look in here, you can see all the different size openings there are to put the wire into. I use that for stripping my wire. And I got my little trusty set of cutters here for cutting the wire with. And that's all I need. Oh, and I do have another tool. I'll show you that in a minute. So, I got a whole thing of connectors here, but these are not what I'm using. All I'm using is right here next to the yellow, the blue. I use the butt connectors. I'm going to order a bunch more off of Amazon because I'm, you know, kind of getting low on them. And I found like 200 something butt connectors. I'm going to look for just blue ones because that's all I really need. I'm going to see if I can find a whole set of blue. But I'm going to get the marine ones where you crimp them and then shrink wrap them. You shrink them, then that'll keep the moisture out. The ones that I've been using, the blue is good. If I crimp it with the red connection on the ratcheting crimpers, it crimps it tight down around the green wire. So actually I think it's going to keep the water out. Alright, so here's what I'm doing today. So, as you can see, I got all this, you know, dirt right here along the edge of the grass. I had just stripped this out the other day. Got all this woods right here that I'm trying to way back to this oak tree that's going to come out. And I'm going to go back even further because I have this water in the backyard here. It's actually not wetlands. Depends on who in the town of Bourne you talk to. One will tell you it's wetlands. Another one tells you it's street runoff. Well, right over there somewhere, my next door neighbor's yard, between hers and the neighbor next to her, there is a drain pipe that runs out to the street. So it is street runoff. I don't know why they're trying to call us wetlands. All through the winter months, this was completely dry. There was no water in there at all. It dried right up. So it's definitely not wetlands, or else it wouldn't have dried up. But anyways, so I'm moving my wire. All right. What happened was I had it in the soft stuff. I moved it over to here. I wanted the Landroid to be able to mow right along the edge of the grass here, but it was getting into the soft stuff and it was digging in. And last night I had to come out and fix it. It dug the wire out of the ground with the rear wheels, got spinning. So I'm going to get it back into just so that it's on the grass, but it's still going to do the very edge of the grass. So I'll keep the wheels off of the dirt and just on the grass. I'm going to plant some grass up in here, and once I do that, once that grass comes in, then probably next year I'll be able to move the wire over into the grass area. And then as I start clearing this more and more, I'll go further out. I'm going to try and clear it down to the water, but I'm not going to put grass all the way down that far. I don't know yet. Haven't decided, but yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just moving this wire out. As you can see, I've got it out of the ground, and you know, here's my wire right here. And now, for those of you that are watching one of my videos for the first time, and you're looking at robotic mowers, I can tell you one thing. This wire that's here, it's a 20 gauge stranded wire. It's not a solid copper, it's a stranded 20 gauge. And you can use, in a pinch, if you need it, if you can't get the robotic wire, you can use the electric dog fence wire. It's the same thing, same principle. And you can use that in place of what you have. You need to splice in a piece or whatnot, yeah. And now here's one of my connections right here. Let me show you. As you can see, I'm using a blue butt connector. And as you can see, if you can, I don't know if it'll focus or not, but if you can see that, it crimped it pretty tight around that green wire. So I think they're going to work pretty good that way. If not, I can always change them and put the marine ones in when I get them. All right, so I'm gonna get my, oh yeah, I gotta show you my other tool. This is the tool that I created myself. It used to be a tool for doing brakes on cars back in the 70s and 80s and whatnot. And I think actually was no, I think this was a gasket scraper. This was a gasket scraper for scraping gaskets off an engine. You're doing work. See the notch I cut into it? I cut a notch into it. And the reason why is I use this when I rounded off the edge so it's not sharp anymore. And when I did that notch, I also made sure I rounded that so it won't cut into the wire. And what I do is I use this tool to get that wire down. Like when I use my edging tool to make, you know, for the wire to go in the ground, I use this tool to put the wire down into the ground. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and come back. Let me get the trench cut to put the wire in. And when I start, I'll come back here and finish the video up, and I'll show you, you know, how I actually use my tool to put it into the ground. Sometimes I have to push down to get it down in there, and other times I don't. Once I get down in there, I take my fingers and I hold it and hold the wire in place. And then once I get so far along with it, then I'll go back and I either take my foot and stomp it closed, or I use my yellow plastic mallet to close the hole up. And I've been trying not to use the pegs if I have to. If I got a spot that just don't want to stay down, then of course then I have to. I stake it down in a couple of spots to keep it down if it won't stay. Otherwise than that, everything else is all just under the ground. So, all right, I'll be back in a bit. All right, see you everybody. Okay, so I'm back. So I got my trench all dug. Let me see if I can show you this. Here's my trench. Now, you're going to hear a lot of these companies like Worx and Husqvarna and everybody, they're kind of going to tell you, try and have the straightest wire you can. Well, no, I don't do that because of the way my yard is. And it's not a big deal. As you can see my trench right there, I'm following all the way down. I got it almost on the edge of the grass because there's nothing on the outer edge that I have to worry about except for that loose dirt that's there. So here's my trench, and I've dug it all the way down to where I'm going to meet up with the wire. Right there, if you can see the wire right there, I'm going to bury that in the ground. Alright, so let me go back up and let me get this wire started so you can just see how I use my tool. If I can do this with holding the phone and putting the wire in the ground. So I've met the wire up right here coming out of the ground, and I'm going to go ahead and start this wire in the ground. Now let me get my tool here and see if I can get this wire to go. Okay, there I am using my tool here. And I got it down there quite a ways. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to just take this, kind of push it down. Then what I'll have to do is put my finger down into the trench right here and hold that wire and just pull it so that it kind of straightens it out. And that's how I work using my tool going down. So I'm going to get this buttoned up and give my Landroid a test. So I'll be back in a little bit when I get the Landroid back out. Alright, see you everybody. Guys, okay, so I'm back again. Alright, so I just want to show you something. When I first got this Landroid, they give you pegs, right? And they seem like they're decent enough. Here's one of the original Landroid pegs. If you look at it, looks okay. But when I've done work on this yard, I have found a bunch of these that were broken. Either up here at the top, where the hook's down over the wire, breaks right off, or I found it broken down here somewhere. So I'm not using those anymore. Almost 2 years ago, I bought from a guy in Germany a bunch of pegs, and you can see the difference, and these are working out much better. So if you want to use the pegs, you're just going to stake your wire down to the ground, and what will happen is over a period of time the wire itself will blend in with the grass will grow over it, cover it up, you won't even see it. As long as you got it staked down good, but you really have to, they say every like 3 feet put a peg down. You need to do more than that, because you're going to, until that thing gets covered, it's liable, someone's liable to catch it and trip over it, and that's why I buried it. No more than 3 inches, they say, so I wouldn't do that. Alright, so let me start up here now. Got my wire all done, and as you can see, now you can't even see where I, put the wire in. Pretty much got the wire all down, didn't use any pegs except for one spot. And let me come down here and I'll show you where I kind of pegged it, because it was sitting on the loose dirt. So I got a spot right here. Alright, so this is my loose dirt area right here, where the Landroid comes across and hits this grass over here. I could have came right across this grass patch, went around that, but I didn't, because I have a wire going around my shed right here, and I'm trying to eliminate that wire. What I'm trying to do is, I'm gonna, right here in this bed right here in front of it, I want to lay some bricks standing straight up to give it something to bump off of. On both sides I got a bed. The only problem is my ramp right here. The Landroid's going to get access to the ramp, and what's going to happen when it gets on that ramp? It's going to fall off the edge and it's going to get stuck. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do to keep it from going off the edge. If you guys have a better suggestion than me, well, leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. My thoughts is somehow I'm going to put a board across the front of the ramp here that's going to stick up high enough so the Landroid can't get over it. And it's going to be is I'm going to attach it somehow so that it'll stay, but then if I need to open my shed, I can lift it up and take it away. I may just go ahead and put something on either side of it to stake it into the ground with, and then just take it out every time, then just push it back down those same holes if it'll work. That way if I need to get something out of the shed, I can pull it up, then I can just eliminate the wire going around the shed completely, and it won't be a problem. But right now I have the wire, and I have to until I get this part of it done. So alright, so this is like these pegs that I bought them off a guy in Germany. If you look up probably wire pegs or robotic mower pegs, whatever you want to look it up, the guy's in Germany somewhere. He ships them quick. I get them just within a matter of not even a week. I bought a total of I think 400 off of him. You get 200 with the Landroid. I got 200 more, and I've got all the pegs that I need. So I got some that are probably still buried in the ground from I reworked the wire just recently and couldn't find them. They didn't come up, so that's all right. I got a whole bag right here. I'm all set. I'm only using it if I need to. Other than that, I'm all set. All right, so let me just get over here and well, actually, let me get my cart put away here, and I'll go ahead and fire my Landroid up and see how she runs with the new where the wire is, because he goes over there a lot. So let me just get ahead and get my aero cart put away. So I use my aero cart. Oh yeah, and I own almost all the Worx products, or a good portion of them. And I also bought this for my aero cart. Right here, these black things that attach to the side, and they allow me to keep my edging tool right on the side, so when I have to go out and do any work, my edging tool's right there with me. So I'm pretty happy over that. I got the wagon kit on here. I bought the wagon kit for this as well. I bought all the accessories for it, and this aero cart's I've used it a lot. From moving an old Coke machine to you name it. I've done a lot with this aero cart. So, all right, let me get this put away. Get this out of my way of my trash barrel. So when my wife comes out, take the trash barrels out. She can get past it. All right. So now, go ahead and close my shed up. And I try and pick up all this debris that falls down, because I don't know if you guys aren't familiar with the Landroid or Husqvarna's the same thing. If you're looking at robotic mowers, they both have They're basically razor blades underneath for mowing your lawn. Only difference is the Landroid has two-sided blades where you can flip it around to use it a second season. And I've discovered what I'm going to do is I am going to set the Landroid up so that I'm going to just turn the blade upside down halfway through the season, and then what I'll do is after that the following season I'll do the same thing. So I should be able to get 2 years out of one set of blades. So this is going to be pretty awesome. Actually, I think it's like 4 years, right? Yeah, because if I run, actually I don't flip it, I can flip it next year. Oh God, I can get 4 years out of a set of blades. That's going to be awesome. Nah, he ain't fully charged yet, but I'll send him out and let him go mowing, and then let him go back and charge when he's ready. All right, so let's get Landroid going out here. And as you can see, I've got him under my deck, which is the best thing I could have ever done. I'm glad that I did, because, you know, he does a lot better being under the deck. And what I did was, I've got him so that he goes back under my deck, all the way under, so we can mow up in the back there when the weeds come up, because I have weeds that show up. So, yeah, he's going to act a little funky right here. He might get stuck. Let's see. Usually he comes right out, but maybe not. It might be okay. Let's see what he's going to do. He's a little confused right now, but usually he comes out on his own and it's not a problem. Today he's just being a little goofy. Yeah, here he comes. All right. So here he comes. And he won't go mow the yard. Let's go see how he navigates over there in the where I just fixed it. Okay. So I'm just trying to get this yard so that he works perfectly fine. And he's been doing good. The Landroid's been not having too many problems. And I got a pretty good steep hill in my backyard. If you look at this hill, it's sloped more than what they recommend. He does do the hill. Yeah, he does kind of turn around and go the other way at times when he's up there, but he does get the whole entire hill. So, don't really care. As long as he mows the whole entire hill, that's all that matters to me. I don't care if he flips around and comes back down the hill. He'll go back up there and tackle it at some point, and he's been doing that. All right, so here we go. Now he's heading over right to where I moved the wire. I just want to see how far over the edge he's going to go. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's going to be good. He's staying on the grass, and when he follows the wire, when he runs out of a charge, then I'll be all set. So let's just see. I'll see if I can get him, see what he's going to do. I'll see if he's going to whip around and come back down. Probably not. He's heading straight up, so. And I put the wire right up to my property line up here, to my next door neighbor behind me. We're going to get this hill over here all cleared. Over and up in here, I got stumps that are going to be coming out. And once that gets cleared, I'm going to plant a good set of grass up in there. And, yeah, let's see what he's going to do with this. Yeah, see, he tends to turn a little bit. Yeah, see, he's going right down the hill. But it's okay, because he does get the whole entire hill, so I don't care how he does it or when he does it, as long as it gets done. And that's what I'm doing. So, yep. So, yeah, when we get that hill cleared, I'm going to move the boundary wire that's running right along this pathway right here, where all the dirt's worn from my wife walking our dog a million times a day. He wants to go out and go walking. She walks around the house. Hey, she's on a diet. She's doing the Atkins diet. She's losing weight, and our dog Dash is helping her do that, so it's okay. Once, you know, we'll get some grass put in over there when we do the hill and stuff, and we'll get a decent lawn put in. The backyard's actually pretty nice. Just as you can see the bald spots where she's been walking the dog, and got to get that taken care of, get some better grass that'll handle that kind of, you know, people walking on it all the time. But as you can see, he's going across the hill right now, and he's pretty much going in a straight line. He's staying straight. He's not turning, just a little, slightly a little bit, but so he does do this whole entire hill. So I'm happy with it. You know, I bought a John Deere D140 tractor last May, and I stopped using this guy. They had a lot of ruts and stuff, and he was really acting up, and I was not happy over it. So I stopped using him. I had him sitting in my shed for a while, and I bought the D140 And I decided the yard looked really good, so I decided to try him again, and I did. And he's working fantastic. So I sold the tractor for, I took a bath on it. I sold a year-old D140 that I paid about $3,800 with all the accessories. I had the canopy that goes over your head to keep the sun off of you. I bought the mulching kit. I bought the bagging kit. I put LED headlights in the front for bulbs. Changed out the original incandescent. I bought a seat cover to put over the seat that says John Deere. So the guy that bought it got a sweet of a deal. He offered me $850 on Facebook Marketplace. I wanted $15. I let it go for $1,000. I told him, you give me $1,000 and it's yours. He came the very next day and picked that tractor up. But hey, I got a good friend out of it. He's got one of the larger John Deeres. He's got one of the, I think it's the E-Series. The one you see on TV where you can get the backhoe. It's got the bucket in the front. And he's got a rake attachment for it. He's going to pull all my stumps for me for $100 a stump. And then he's going to rake the hill for me so that I can go ahead and plant some grass seed up there and get some lawn going up there. And once that's done, all the way up to my neighbor's fence way up the top there. She owns part of that property on this side of the fence. I'm going to put my wire right up to the pine trees that are in front of that fence and let it do on her side as well. I'll plant the grass all the way up so it'll look nice. And that'll be cool. Then my Landroid will really have a good time mowing. You just see how he's doing here behind the shed. So you can just see. He does navigate behind my shed pretty good. But like I said, I got to get this wire up from around the shed. So that way he can just bump off the shed and continue mowing. But I'm having a problem with him when he goes to find the wire. If he needs to charge, he'll find this wire. And where it comes across, right here, I double the wire up like they said. And when he comes around the shed and finds the wire, he just goes, right straight across and doesn't find his way out. So that's kind of an issue. He'll just go around in circles. So I just need to eliminate this wire around the shed. That'll stop that. So yep, so he's out doing his thing. Probably just let him mow for a while, let him run out, and then he'll go back and charge himself. And I would say probably 75% of the time, he's been making it back to the charging base. So that's a good thing. Before it was like maybe 25%, so he's improved about 50%. Maybe a little more, maybe like 85. So he's been finding it most of the time. I'll go looking for him and I don't know where he's at. And then all of a sudden, oh, here you are. He's in his bed charging. All right, what do we got going on here? I got a problem here. I got to see what he's acting a little weird. He's going to do a hole, I guess. So he's going to dig a hole, isn't he? Yeah, he is. All right, I got to fix this. I have to put something there so that he won't do that again. He was digging a hole. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I'll have to see what I can do with that. But we'll see. I just got to get it so that he won't do that right there. Otherwise than that, he's running pretty good. Alright, so, hey, subscribe to my page if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions. You want to know about the Landroid or robotic mowers. I've learned quite a bit. I've had this one since 2015. I was probably one of the first ones in the United States to have a Landroid WG794. So I'm very happy with it, and I'd like to get the Landroid S, which is a brand new model that has Wi-Fi in it. It also has a wider mowing deck, so when it mows along the boundary wire, it'll mow on the outside of the boundary wire. I really want that mower, but it's not available here yet. I'm going to hit up Worx on their Facebook page and ask them about, see about getting the Landroid S released here in the States, because I'd love to have it. And then I can use this boundary wire, just change out the charging base. Actually, I got to make a change to that because the new charging base is completely different. I could not believe it, and I got to say I like it. No more backing. No more of the Landroid backing out of the charging base. It's if you go look it up, look up the Worx Landroid S, and I forget the model number of it. Just look up Landroid S, you'll find it, and you'll see that the mower drives onto the charging base and stopped. It's got 2 metal connections that'll connect up and charge, and when it's done, it just keeps driving straight forward right off the base and continues. So that's what I wanted. I want that new Landroid S with that new style charging base and the Wi-Fi. I want the Wi-Fi so I can do it with an app instead of having the screen on the Landroid. I don't know what he's doing. He might be trying to go back to charge. I don't know how. Let's see what he's doing here. Yeah, so I want that Landroid S in the worst way, but it's only available, I think, in one country right now, and I don't know if it was Australia, one of the countries. You'll have to go look it up. Go look up the Worx Landroid S, and you'll see it. It's a completely different looking mower. So, all right, I gotta see what he's doing here. He's never done this before. He's found a spot where he's kind of trying to dig in a little bit, maybe. Yeah, he might dig himself in right here. I may have to move the wire. Okay. Well, this is what I want to see, because he's having an issue right here. It looks like he's just going to dig holes and dig himself right in. Yeah, he stopped. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for watching my video. If you watched it, like I said, subscribe to my page down below. Comment down below if you have any questions about the robotic lawnmowers. I pretty much checked them all out. I know what they're like. The different models that are available and stuff, like the Husqvarna's, the RoboMow. There's one that's made by oh god, it looks like the one that Flymo makes, and I forget the name. It begins with an R. But yeah, so yeah, let me know, and I can try and answer your question for you, help you out. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. See you, everybody.